Well, folks, welcome back. I'm about to embark on the next step of the main quest, finally. I managed to do a lot of grinding just in the hinterland from the Storm Coast and the mire, the fallow mire, and I'm level 11, and it took a long time to get up there. But, yeah, I wanted to have, I don't know what's to come exactly. I have some rough idea, but I just want to make sure I was sufficient level to handle it, because with the Mage quest, I was not. And in my other playthroughs I've tried, no, you need to be a decent level. So see if anyone's have any last minute thoughts. Have I actually asked her about
I have some more
herself?
questions. Why am I not surprised? Tell me about your brother. I'd rather not.
That's interesting, because if you're friendly with her, then she'll tell you about her brother.
So you were the right hand to the Divine? To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual. Unusual how? You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand. But what does a right hand do, exactly? What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope. You thought she could really change things? Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it. So, what's the story about you becoming the right hand? Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that?
Give me an option.
It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now. You're stalling. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say? And the truth is? I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral. But I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten. What happened to the mages that helped you? They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and Most Holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
Yeah, typical.
That's rather typical of the Chantry, isn't it? Even worse, few know of the Knight Commander's involvement at all. That sort of willful blindness needs to change. I'll let you get back to work.
By the way, I turned off multi-aliasing, and wow, I'm getting between 50 and 60 frames now. It's a huge improvement, and it's definitely going a lot better. Let's see what Colin has to say.
Is there something you need?
I'll use some of the dialogue of the other character to know it as well. Check one more time with Solus, and then I'm going to proceed ahead. Try not to miss too much dialogue.
Though the darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light.
I believe Skyhaven comes after this, so I'm... Where am I going here? I'm just wandering off the edge of the map, basically. Because I'm doing another playthrough, I'm not going to have a conversation with everyone about everything because obviously there are opportunities. Well, let's see what Varric has to say briefly.
Need something?
Already asked him about Red
Carry
Baron.
on.
Oh, let's also do the main quest, Inquisitor's Path. Set to active. Anything else Leon has to say?
It seems Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens.
Oh, yeah.
It's a disappointment. I am, however, glad that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition. As for the other Wardens, I suppose we will have to keep looking.
What's this? I watched you die for me? What?
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
Well, it worked. That's all that matters to me.
If only everything were that simple.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
Ah, okay.
You have a history with the Warden who ended the Blight, don't you?
I count him among my closest friends. I still write to him for advice when I can. He hasn't replied to my letters in some time. I try not to worry about it. He can take care of himself.
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the Chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the Chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly. I did encounter the champion again later in Kirkwall. Those were terrible times.
Was this when the Chantry was destroyed?
No, that happened later. But even then, the news coming out of Kirkwall was disheartening. There were some in Val Royeaux who wanted the Divine to declare an exalted march on Kirkwall. Justina sent me there to see if that could be avoided, to gather evidence to calm those agitating for war. I guess it didn't matter in the end.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
I do. One last conversation with Solus before what appears to be a major event, I imagine.
Lethalon.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. Here we are again.
I'll listen to his tale about the
I'd
Imperium.
like to ask you about Tevinter.
Ah, yes. Everyone outside the Imperium always seems quite fascinated by it. Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. That's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
Whoa. That's interesting dialogue.
Just how often is blood magic used there?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any Magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion too. Of course, what people call blood magic here, and what we consider blood magic, are two different things.
What's considered actual blood magic in Tevinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm? The problem is that what's permitted only gets you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Real blood magic can give you an edge, a leg up against your opponents. It's safe to assume that any mage of rank does it. The rest are quietly shut out of power, to put it bluntly.
Tevinter, based on the stories, reminds me a lot of the Drow matriarch. I mean, substitute Drow priestesses of Loth as the head honchos of, or the dominating force in society for the Magisters, and you kind of have the same thing in a way.
You'd think the Templars
Almost.
would object.
Same
I
thing.
imagine they did, long ago. Once their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. And most of them probably innocent.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course. I do. And I'm not entirely alone. Occasionally, there'll be a Magister who makes noise. And then the reform talk begins. All very patriotic. Meanwhile, that Magister will be quietly shunned. Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet. Me? I enjoy the allure of pariahhood.
He's kind of an interesting character, I gotta admit.
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah. That is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly,
This woman.
I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home,
What the hell is
it's
she doing?
how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
That's it. You don't question it.
In the south, you
Fucking
have
woman here.
alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
At least they're free. They don't have slavery forced on them.
You think people choose to be poor and oppressed? I doubt it. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
It seems strange that an entire empire would be ruled by
This
mages.
woman is annoying in the
Straight.
background.
Why are you less qualified to rule than some tart with a fancy crown? Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that mages don't rule. The Magisterium rules. That magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
What is the Magisterium, exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on.
This woman.
Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an Altus.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later. Lower class. If you're not a mage at all, you're Soperati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do rule then.
Yes and no. Let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically, the potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing.
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all. If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
Alright. That's enough.
Let me ask you something else.
Of course.
No, I think that's it. I forgot. More.
There's an
It is
Imperial
interesting.
Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine.
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from ours?
Ours.
In theory.
Not much.
The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
There are circles of magi in the Imperium.
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers.
They don't use Lyrium.
Ha! As if there'd be any left for them. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce the Magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage.
Boy.
Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah, blah, blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
Interesting. This is just so reminiscent of actual historical events. I'm so exhausted. I'm trying to think. There was a heretical movement in the late Roman Empire, a divergent branch of Catholicism, believing that there were actually three. The Holy Trinity was actually separate, not one, and it caused all sorts of problems, and people killed each other over it, and yeah. Standard religious claptrap argumentation, what have you. Interesting, though. Continue.
So, the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done.
Like bull baiting.
Excellent.
He's got some interesting stuff to say.
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
How many do you want to bet that when Gator was writing that, he was just thinking, that's the Catholic Church?
I share your opinion, actually.
That's not surprising, considering what the Inquisition represents. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
I don't know. Keep my skepticism.
That's what you think. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm glad you're so certain. Me? I've seen too much to believe I know everything.
The world is bigger than I. Even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe. But I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is too frightening.
I see. So, all the bravado, and he just goes back to one last question for you. Interesting conversation. I'm enjoying
if
it.
the Imperium would be a useful ally.
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they'd support the Venatori. They won't. At least, not officially. They'll disavow all knowledge of dangerous cultists. Secretly, many Magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the meantime, all the better.
It would be in the Imperium's best interest to help. Surely it could use allies.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies a long time ago. We've been fighting the Qunari for what, 200 years off and on? It's a point of pride that we go it alone. They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry opposed the Inquisition's formation.
You think that matters? Don't be silly. The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well be a heathen. I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
I mean, apart from the annoying woman who got stuck there, a very interesting conversation. And I can't off the top of my head recall the name of the, I believe it was late 4th century, 5th century controversy, Catholic Church, but anyways.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death.
Thank you for all that you are doing.
This is it. This is it. I guess it's in Ferelden. Recommended levels 8 to 11.
Any word?
Nothing yet.
I'm level 11, so yeah, that's good, I think.
The best of the mages are ready, Herald. Be certain you are prepared for the assault on the breach. We cannot know how you will be affected.
Here we go. I have some rough idea what's happening story-wise, but everything else, the combat, I'm not really aware. Sticking with our traditional party, the ever-loyal Varric, Solus as Mage, and Iron Bull as my hybrid. What exactly the Mage is going to do? Solus's hands clicking.
Mages!
Focus past the Herald. Let her will draw from you.
That didn't work, now did it?
You did it.
Oh, it worked. Now, if I had chosen the Templars, I mean, I can see how I don't. They didn't really explain how Magus, what they're giving her, mana or magical power. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I guess it worked, yeah. And if it had been the Templars, how does that work? Not really sure.
Solus confirms the heavens are scarred but calm. The breach is sealed. We've reports of lingering rifts, and many questions remain. But this was a victory. Word of your heroism has spread.
We don't know what caused this. We can't rest easy.
I agree. One success does not guarantee peace. The immediate danger is gone. For some, so is the necessity of this alliance. We must be wary. The Inquisition will need new focus.
Forces approaching! To arms!
What the... We must get to the gates!
I knew it was too easy.
All right. Yes, too easy. Fair. Always on the money. Mark on the money.
Cullen?
One watchguard reporting. It's a massive force, the bulk over the mountain.
Under what banner?
None.
None?
I can't come in unless you open.
It's Cole.
I'm Cole. I came to warn you, to help. People are coming to hurt you. You probably already know.
What is this? What's going on?
The Templars come to kill you.
Templars? Is this the Order's response to our talks with the Mages, attacking blindly?
The Red Templars went to the Elder One. You know him? He knows you. You took his mages. There.
This Elder One?
Corypheus.
He's very angry that you took his mages.
Cullen, give me a plan. Anything.
Haven is no fortress. If we are to withstand this monster, we must control the battle. Get out there and hit that force. Use everything you can. Mages! You have sanction to engage them. That is Samson. He will not make it easy. Inquisition! With the Herald! For your lives! For all of us!
Hardcore combat. Oh yeah. The bull out there. My freaking hotkeys not working. So there was combat after all. I need to... I'll let the AI do its thing, because the AI generally does a decent job. First I need to chuck a potion here. Maybe I can keep them off of me, so I'll just take a regen. Varric, do something useful. By the gods. Yeah, I'm not doing the CQC well enough. Already wasted 2 potions. Actually, I need to switch this key. That's better. Where are they? Make way. Hell yeah. Do his thing. Varric, knock them to their eyes. Nice. Corrupted Templars. Why? I have no idea why Solus is up at the front, nor do I know why Garrus is. Or Barrett, rather. Garrus. Because it kind of reminds me of him, I guess. Actually, I want to change just the AI briefly. I want Bull to be using behaviors, nope, tactics, shield bash, preferred, and this preferred as well.
Trebuchet firing.
Damn. No regen for Bull. Fuck me. Barrack out of there as well. Oh shit. Gotta get out again. I have no aggro protection, unfortunately. Solus gotta raise me. Where did Corvina go down? Right next to me, apparently. Alright, I'll have to make do without it. Get aggro off of me. Where is Corvina? Where did she go down? Where is my aggro mage? Or my DPS mage? Fuck me. I have no choice to chug a potion. Supply cache. Alright. Once I'm done with these guys, I'll take it. I don't know where Corvina is exactly. Still got potions, so it's okay. Got to heal up now. With the potions I do have. No.
More coming. Keep them off the trebuchet.
All right. Good to go. All right. Played Solus. Firewall going here. Gotta micromanage better. I did that. Bad use of barrier. Very bad use. On here. Kind of weird my scrawny elf is doing this. Better party management. Let me avoid using potions that much. not quite over as it's.
Oh, that's just mess. Oh.
Everyone to the gates!
I can't take control of my other characters. No, now I can. Fuck, why didn't I? Oh, perfect for Varric. He uses explosive shot. Enhanced long shot. Oops. Enhanced explosive shot. Useful. Probably a little too early to be fighting a dragon.
Chantry. It's the only building that might hold against that beast. At this point, just make them work for it.
Let's grab people on the way.
Must be Cassandra. Oh, that's the other Templar. Wall of fire will be very useful here. Oh, shit. Fucking bull. Why did I forget to give him regen potions? I booted in.
About time. Let me out of here.
Getting great.
I hear a survivor.
Not just that. Squishy Corvina went down again because I'm not micromanaging her very well. Oh, shit. I hit the wrong thing. Should still be able to revive her, though. That's it.
Move! Keep going! The chantry is your shelter!
He tried to stop a Templar. The blade went deep. He's going to die.
What a charming boy.
Herald, our position is not good. That dragon stole back any time you might have earned us.
I've seen an archdemon. I was in the Fade, but it looked like that.
I don't care what it looks like. It's got a path for that army. They'll kill everyone in Haven.
The Elder One doesn't care about the village. He only wants the Herald.
I don't care what he wants. How do I stop him?
It won't be easy. He has a dragon.
We know what he... Herald, there are no tactics to make this survivable. The only thing that slowed them was the avalanche. We could turn the remaining trebuchets, cause one last slide.
We're overrun. To hit the enemy, we'd bury Haven.
We're dying, but we can decide how. Many don't get that choice.
Yes, that. Chancellor Roderick can help. He wants to say it before he dies.
There is a path. You wouldn't know it unless you'd made the summer pilgrimage, as I have. The people can escape. She must have shown me. Or Andraste must have shown me so I could tell you.
What are you on about, Roderick?
It was whim that I walked the path. I did not mean to start. It was overgrown. Now, with so many in the Conclave dead, to be the only one who remembers. I don't know, Harold. If this simple memory can save us, this could be more than mere accident. You could be more.
If that thing is here for me, I'll make him fight for it.
And when the mountain falls, what about you? Perhaps you will surprise it. Find a way.
Inquisition, follow Chancellor Roderick through the Chantry. Move!
Herald, if you are meant for this, if the Inquisition is meant for this, I pray for you.
They'll load the trebuchets. Keep the Elder One's attention until we're above the tree line.
If we are to have a chance, if you are to have a chance, let that thing hear you.
Wait, I'm not soloing this, am I? Oh, my party's with me.
If there's one thing I know, it's how to get an asshole's attention.
Sure, I'm micromanaging my... coming for me, but I'm not gonna let him get me. I think I almost did. Music, I gotta say, is pretty awesome. Ah. The AI knows to target the mages. They know. The squishiest mage is by far Corvina. She has... DPSer. Where the hell is Corvina?
Away with you!
There. For the weary. Running low on potions now. Corvina's I gotta make use of her abilities more often. No idea why Solus is up. Wrong way, evidently. I like the music a lot. Pretty epic. Running low on potions, though. Make way for the bull. Oh, this guy's immune. He's too bulky for the bull. Alright guys, this is turning into a long one, so while the action is still hot, I'm going to leave it off for here, and I'll be back next time with a vengeance.